Yesterday, it was alleged in a series of emotionally charged, knee-jerk video tweets from the original Bayonetta voice actress, Helena Taylor, that she was given a lowball rate when she was offered to return as the voice of Bayonetta for the upcoming Bayonetta 3. This is probably true. I have no doubts they wanted her off the project. I have my suspicions that Taylor is hard to work with. However, rather than deal with this pay dispute in a professional manner, Helena waited until the game was weeks out from release before posting defamatory tweets that slammed the developers of the game and the new voice actress of Bayonetta, industry juggernaut Jennifer Hale. Helena, who has trained for several years at professional acting academies under two extremely talented and famous people I've never actually heard of, has done little else since becoming the voice of Bayonetta, apart from a few bit parts in short films. For a self-proclaimed talented actress worth more than she was offered, Helena has played a young mother in a short film and a government agent in some slipshod straight-to-video budget sci-fi movie.
As an actor, I trained for a total of 7.5 years.
It's not my job to care.
These don't sound like roles that people take when they're a big name. They sound like roles people take when they're struggling to put food on the table. Helena must feel like her career is in shambles if these are the only roles she can get. I think it's far more likely that after becoming Bayonetta, the reason Helena has so few other roles is because she's been demanding more money from everyone else who has offered her roles. Seems weird that she hasn't been in anything since 2014. I'm sure such a talented actress is in great demand these days. In any case, it seems Helena not only loved playing the character of Bayonetta, she started to identify as Bayonetta.
Hello, my name's Bayonetta.
Which must have stung when she simply wasn't offered enough to go through with it. Voice actors don't get paid anywhere near enough. The $4,000 that Helena was allegedly offered is about on par with what anime voice actors are paid for a 12 or 13 episode series. The industry is rough, and it's not fair. They treat voice actors like shit, and yet they're in great demand. Refusing a role and then hoping you'll get another, better offer doesn't always happen. If someone refuses a role, they can expect the role to be taken by someone else. A studio wants to do everything for the cheapest they can. If you threaten to walk, they will just find someone else to fill those boots. It's one thing slamming the company that lowballed you, especially when they're making so much bank off your hard work. It's another thing weaponizing charity by demanding consumers boycott a game that you weren't involved with and give that $60 to charity instead.
I am asking the fans to boycott this game and instead spend the money that you would have spent on this game donating it to charity.
Delusions, paranoia, hallucinations.
An action which leaves the consumer with an end result of nothing. I can't put nice gestures in my Nintendo Switch and play them. What the fuck? I could ask everyone to boycott Gotham Knights, because I always wanted to voice act Robin in a video game or on the big screen. Except, Jiminy Jillikers, that isn't how it works. Holy ridiculous reason to request a boycott, Batman. If Taylor had just voiced her dissatisfaction with how things turned out, that would be fine. Everybody has to vent their spleen every once in a while. But as I said, these were emotionally charged tweets designed to get a response.
I understand that boycotting this game is a personal choice and there are those that won't, and that's fine. But if you're someone who cares about people, who cares about the world around you, who cares about who gets hurt...
It's not my job to care.
You know, in England right now, there are nurses going to food banks to feed their children.
It's not my job to care.
I suffered from depression and anxiety. I worried that I was going to be on the streets.
It's not my job to care.
Taylor took it upon herself not only to demand a boycott of the game, but also to directly attack the new voice actress of Bayonetta.
She has no right to say she is the voice of Bayonetta. I created that voice. She has no right to sign merchandise as Bayonetta.
For someone with years of experience, it seems wild that Taylor would refer to Hale as
a new girl.
Taylor's 24 acting credits versus Hale's 471 really paints a reverse picture of things here. I understand that Taylor is mad, and I understand why. Bayonetta was a huge financial success, and Taylor probably hasn't had a great deal of royalties from it. That's between Taylor, her agent, and the contracts that she signed. It's not a pretty situation to be in. A big company makes millions, and you don't, even though you pretty much carry that character. Think about how Rockstar treated their celebrity talent over the years. So many voice actors are mad at what they got paid for their work. The industry is most certainly unfair. There are certainly better ways of handling the situation than a handful of misguided, angry video tweets, with a smug look of, hey, everybody's going to be talking about me after this. Twitter is the last place where there's anybody who would even listen to Taylor, the place where the outrage mob lives. A struggling woman in the industry should be supportive of her fellow female creatives who still have to work hard and negotiate to get paid the same as men. Taylor chose to attack her fellow female creatives instead, referring to Jennifer Hale as only in it for herself. Hale is only 3 years younger than Taylor, and yet she has had 19 times the roles that Taylor has. Who would you say is more experienced, more professional, based on that? Now, admittedly, Hale might have been offered more. Likely was. I'm sure there's some foul play going on here. Maybe they got sick of working with such a self-obsessed, bootleg Helena Bonham Carter that they lowballed Taylor out of the project to get a professional in the role instead. We can't claim to know at this point in time. All we do know is that things aren't as clear-cut as Taylor has made them out to be. At this time, in the very crucial build-up to a video game's release, information about behind the scenes isn't so readily available. Taylor would rather throw everyone involved in Bayonetta 3 under the bus just to get her 15 minutes of internet fame. Everybody who worked on the game, whose livelihoods may well depend on the success of this game, now have to deal with this non-traversy negatively affecting the game's sales. There is still time to delete these tweets. Ride off into the sunset, write a book, start a Cameo account, or open an OnlyFans. I bet you'd make a shit ton of money reading Bayonetta fanfiction. And then I slid my fingers into my moist Cheshire pussy.